Hello, my name is Geogen and welcome back to Armoured Warfare. Today I bring you my first look at the IS-7, a tank that everyone will be able to acquire at the end of the anniversary celebration thingy-bob. There's a small requirement that you have to do where you play a few battles in PvP or PvE, and then this vehicle will be yours. I'm lucky enough to receive it early, probably a few other people have as well, but anyway, the IS-7, it's a tier 3 MBT in Armoured Warfare, and as you can see it isn't slow, even though it's really quite large and quite heavy. But there are a few problems with it, which we'll see in a moment, but in terms of top speed or acceleration, it's not as good as, say, a Leopard 1 there in front of me. And of course, because I'm playing an IS-7, they're all looking at me like, huh? What is this? But anyway. In terms of its top speed, it's fine. Its traverse is bad, and its turret traverse is bad. So reacquiring targets is going to be difficult unless they're directly in front of you. Well, when I say difficult, I mean slower than other tanks of the same tier and class. So there's a target, BWP-1M Puma. Didn't fully aim that shot and luckily went in. You can see that we only have AP and HE. The figures for the penetration and that will be on the screen now. But basically I haven't had a difficulty penetrating any target that I've met in this vehicle. I've only met tier 3s and 4s. That vehicle I can't actually hit because it's behind cover. So if I had access to his lower plate though, it would be fine. I believe the penetration is in the mid 200 range for this 130mm gun. I'm also using the crew drink to boost the accuracy spread and the aim time, as it is probably one of the worst features, and well, it is the worst feature of this tank, and I believe it has the worst aim time and accuracy of any tank in the game. I may be wrong. This battle you're seeing here is with a tier 5 commander, Freya, and also tier 1 crew. And there is one other thing you may have just noticed though. A little lip in the terrain means I can't actually shoot that guy. And that was a large amount of deviation on that shot. But that little lip, as I was saying, will impact you with the IS-7, as it only has -3 degrees of gun depression. Those of you who've played an IS-7 in World of Tanks will be somewhat disappointed, as it does have, I believe, more historical depression values. We didn't aim that shot fully, but he would have gone around the corner before we could have fired. Reload time of 8.73 seconds. It's usually about 9 odd seconds without the crew drain. I also have hull reinforcement Mark III and chrome barrel lining Mark III to improve accuracy spread, as well as the damage. You see the damage is in the 350 range on that shot. 294 on the BWP, but that was because that was his remaining hit points. Turning circle is quite large of this vehicle. We did block that M60 unfortunately, but never mind. 2 targets inbound. We could take out the T62 first, and then this Leopard 1. Leopard 1 was going after the M60, and now I'm trying to test the face-hugging potential of the IS-7. IS-7 has very strong frontal upper plate armor. However, he has good gun depression and a good enough top speed to hit my lower plate. The lower plate, of course, being the weakness at the front. I do have some further gameplay to demonstrate other weaknesses in a moment. However, the turret armor, from what I've played anyway, is reasonably solid against AP rounds of this tier and tier 4. Like I said, I haven't faced tier 5s yet, but there's another lower plate hit into the IS-7, so your lower plate is going to be very problematic. And there's the gun depression again, just a small raise in terrain from the snow pile there, and -3 degrees won't let me get the gun down in time. However, that was a very quick match and showed a few things about the IS-7 that you may like or dislike. So we'll move on to at least a part of the game where it shows something really quite interesting about the IS-7. So here we are in the IS-7 again. It's part way through a match. We've picked up 3 kills, 1600 damage, and now we are pushing around the enemy flank in the map Reactor. Now, climbing up hills is quite slow, as you can see. Traverse is still slow, as I mentioned before. There's a BWP-1M Puma, and that is the aim time. Very long, 4.5 seconds at stock, 4.69 I believe, with a tier 1 crew. Now there are things you could improve with regards to the aim time. You could replace the chrome barrel lining and put on a retrofit improving the aim time instead. However, I would prefer better accuracy and live with the poorer aim time. It's up to you. Here's a T-64. Now, Reactor isn't really a great map for the IS-7 in this part of the map anyway, as it is quite mountainous, or full of hills anyway. Gun depression means we have to get right close to him. We do get a shot into his side because the T-64 has very poor side armor. However, I'm trying to side scrape now. Not side scrape, I'm trying to face hug now. And we can't actually hide our lower plate from him, or our upper plate even, as he has the gun depression to go down and hit us in the weaknesses. We're backing up now because we don't have another shot ready and he's reloaded. And the reverse speed failed us there, but also the terrain made us rise our lower plate up in the air, giving the T-64, with its good enough gun already, a better opportunity to take us down. So be careful of hills is what I'm saying when you're playing the IS-7. Additionally, when everyone has their IS-7s, I imagine tier 3 matchmaking will just be like 7 or 8 IS-7s on each team, like when the T-59 Type 59 Legend thingy came out before the Chinese mainline came out. So it might just be a lot of IS-7s fighting. That's why I played the vehicle now, just to get an idea of somewhat normal matchmaking. Anyway, we'll move on to the last bit of gameplay, which shows another good strength of the IS-7's armor. So here we are with the IS-7 on Ghostfield. We're at the top of our pack, as it were, and we're in tier 4 maximum matchmaking again. I've not been in a game with tier 3 maximum yet. It is possible that will be a thing, and I think it'll be quite strong in those games, and it is quite strong already with regards to upper plate armor, good gun damage, good top speed, as you can see, 59, 60 kilometers an hour for an MBT. I think that Leopard 1 is faster than us, but he's just slowing down because, again, he hasn't seen an IS-7 in this game before, which is fair enough. Now, this rock here, gonna park up behind him and try and side scrape after, well, first hitting the M60 and not penning him. It was a bit of a snapshot, so never mind. There's a heat round off the side of the armor. There's another bounce. Object 155 there. The side armor is not very good on a lot of these MBTs, so that is something the IS-7 does have going for it. I will show, or probably have shown, the values for the IS-7 earlier in the video. There's the M60 again. We side on, and even though we weren't angled especially well, we do bounce his shots, so we haven't taken any damage. Also 1607 hit points with the retrofit for hull reinforcement. Gives the IS-7 quite a lot of health to play around with, more than an M60 over there, more than that T-62. So this thing is mostly about its armor, and then secondly more about its gun. But it is crippled by its lack of gun depression and its poor traverse speeds. Regardless, we put in 2,128 damage already in 6 shots, And we haven't picked up any kills, but that's fine. We don't necessarily need them at this stage. Missiles are flying in, so could be a problem, but for now they're not targeting us. Our track gets taken down. There's the 155 from earlier, we take him out. And we can easily penetrate his upper plate. Missile coming in. BMD-1 can penetrate our side. Now, I'm not sure exactly where it hit, as I think the IS-7 has spaced armor, at least along the upper part of the side armor. But I'm not sure how spaced armor works in this game. If it's similar to auto tanks or not. I've not actually checked. So the IS-7, being an MBT as well, has very poor view range, and in line with Soviet MBTs or Russian MBTs, it has worse view range. Somewhere along the lines of 350 meters, I believe. So we decide to retreat and go around. There's no point running into enemy heat fire and missile fire, as we would just be panned all over the place. The armor is only steel, remember, and therefore you don't have any benefits to heat ammunition being fired at you, like with composite armor on the T-64, but that is a tier higher, of course. Being tier 3, I don't think there are any vehicles with composite armor. There's the long aim time again, and we're very lucky to actually hit that shot because of the aim time, and secondly because of our accuracy. This thing does excel at mid-range fights on flat terrain, such as on this airfield right now. Its gun elevation is okay. Its gun depression over the front, as I said, is -3 degrees. Over the rear it's -2, so there isn't really anywhere on this vehicle that has a good gun depression. The side armor is probably the same. The side gun depression is probably the same as the front or the rear. As you can see, we can't depress the gun over this hill, but it's fine, as that target, the BMD-1, who hit us earlier, is not in range of us at the moment. There's a Pack 90 aim time. He was behind cover. That shot just completely missed. So, moving forward again. We're gonna try and take down these two targets. In fact, there's 3 targets around this corner. AMX-10P does the job for one of us, for one of them on the AMX-10P Pack 90. There's another one, and also that BMD-1. So, AMX is faster than us, so he's going ahead. He goes on very low hit points, and he gets taken down by the AMX-10P. He's just fired, but the AMX-10P has a very good reload time, and you can see him struggling with the bumps in the terrain with the gun depression. Now I should be able to hit the target quite fine. He hits us again with his good reload, and we have the health to weather it. Unfortunately, that shot hits his track and just immobilizes him, or rather, causes critical damage. He immobilizes us because we angle just in time. Angling the armor will throw your opponent's aim off, but it may flatten the armor out, depending on what direction they're facing, because of the pike nose arrangement. So you do have to be wary of your upper plate. It isn't practically invulnerable, but if it is front towards enemy, it is very strong. So, just as Allo S left, and he is at the top right hand side of the map. We're not going to see him, so we'll just skip forward to this game's post-game stats, and a few screenshots of the others as well. Oh yeah, I was just pointing out there was a small penetration hole from the AMX-10P90 in the lower plate, and on the side of the turret you saw some white marks, and on the hull as well on the upper plate, so definitely the lower plate has a weakness. But those post-game stats coming up now. So there we go, that was the best game I had. 2,949 damage, 1,400 base, 12 shots fired, 11 hits, 1 miss, 3,000 damage mitigated, and we received 676. We don't have a premium count, but there are the numbers if we did. Not a bad result at all for that third game I had. Here's the first game, 2,100 damage, gold medal. There are the numbers again. Not bad, we came top. in a tier 4 game, and it's not a bad vehicle at all in that kind of matchmaking, especially on Cold Strike as well, because Cold Strike is quite flat in the town, so you can actually get your gun on target, with the exception of those couple of bumps with the curbs and the piles of snow. And lastly, the second game we had, well, that didn't go entirely well for us, as we did die partway through, but we still won in the end, and here are the results. There you go, 2,400 damage that time, so we did increase our damage per game. We came second that time, but we still earned quite a nice amount of credits. And considering this is a free tank, if you just play 5 games, it's not bad at all, and it does look quite nice. I do quite like early Cold War vehicles, they do look quite interesting. Anyway, that was my first few games in the IS-7. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to share it, like it, whatever. Give me a comment down below, tell me what you think about the vehicle. And as always, I've been Geogen, and I'll see you chaps and chapettes in the next one.